And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ.
Stephen A. Smith just lost it live on national television, and the internet hasn't stopped talking about it. The one who pushed him over the edge was Angel Reese. And what Stephen A. delivered wasn't just criticism, it was a flamethrower aimed at the entire WNBA.
I'm not going to ignore, nor am I going to take my eyes off of what transpires with the WNBA over the next 2 weeks while Caitlin Clark is out with the quad strain. And the reason why is because, let me tell you something right now, I'm not going to go to word hate. I'm not going to be out there like RG3 was saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark or other players hate Caitlin Clark. But I will say this. I don't think it's specific about Caitlin Clark. I think it's what Caitlin Clark represents.
From resentment in the locker rooms to jealousy boiling over on the court, this wasn't about one player. This was a warning shot. Because according to him, the drama with Caitlin Clark has officially crossed the line, and Angel Reese is right at the center of it.
Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching women's basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too.
I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too.
A year later, do you feel like you're
Next question.
Ever since Caitlin Clark entered the league, the spotlight hasn't just followed her, it belonged to her. Cameras, endorsements, ticket sales, national headlines. Everything orbiting around Caitlin Clark.
When it was really all said and done, we know what she brings to the table. But people wanted to hate because why? You had a bunch of players in this league that watched this young white girl come along and take the league by storm. And they resented it because they saw the marketing prowess that she had.
And while fans celebrated it as a generational moment for women's basketball, some players saw it differently, as a threat. That's where the resentment began. And Stephen A. says it has now reached a breaking point.
The fact of the matter is that it has to start somewhere. And if it starts somewhere, a rising tide lifts all boats. You jump on that tide, you jump on that boat and elevate and use them to elevate your play or to elevate the attention you garner. It's very simple, but people didn't want to do that. There was a lot of people that didn't want to do that. Let's call it what it is. I ain't gonna mention no names, but y'all know who they are. And they didn't want to do that. And I'm not talking about players and just players. So about announcers too.
Angel Reese once again tried to downplay Caitlin's achievements. Whether it was brushing off her records or throwing subtle shade in interviews, Reese has built a pattern. Some call it competitiveness. Stephen A. called it what it really is, bitterness.
For us to get just constantly shit on, you can't even acknowledge the growth and how amazing the WNBA is doing because shit like this happens. You didn't even have to bring up the W. If you're gonna say that it's for that, then stand on that. But I don't think I think he's trying to make a business decision, which he's a businessman, that makes sense. But to mask it in this, I want to uplift and support WNBA players and women athletes is kind of a cop-out, I think. And I don't think it really makes any sense.
And he didn't stop there. He said this isn't just about Reese. It's about many veterans and stars across the league who carry the same resentment.
But now, the young white girl comes along and y'all want to sit up there and shower all of this praise and all of this attention that was earned before she ever came along. The resentment is understandable, but it's not about Caitlin Clark. It's about what she represents. My point is, grow up.
On live television, he thundered, "Grow up." And he wasn't talking to Caitlin Clark. He was talking to the players, the executives, the coaches, everyone refusing to admit the obvious. The obvious truth that Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA is booming. She got chartered flights. She delivered ratings. She turned this league into must-see TV. And instead of celebrating her, players are resenting her.
They ignored the fact that you got chartered flights because of this girl. They ignored the fact that ratings were going through the roof because of this girl. Instead, they resented it because they said, yo, we were doing stuff long before Caitlin Clark got here, and y'all wasn't paying attention then.
That wasn't just his opinion. That was fact, backed by receipts. The Indiana Fever had the highest attendance, home and away. Teams moved venues just to fit Clark's crowds. Games featuring Caitlin? Over 1 million viewers. Without her? Barely 400,000.
Stephen A. is 100% correct on this. At the end of the day,
you already see people actually saying, hey, I'm not watching for 2 weeks. I'm not tuning in for 2 weeks. And it's really bad news for the Mystics and the Sky, because both of those teams moved those games to big arenas. So it's like, now that she's not playing, what is that attendance going to look like? The viewership, right? The viewership is going to plummet. I already know, because majority of the people that's watching the Indiana Fever wants to see Caitlin Clark. And sad to say it, a lot of them only want to see Caitlin Clark. They don't really care about the entire team.
And when Clark went down with a quad strain, sidelined for 2 weeks, panic spread instantly. Ticket prices plummeted. Entire sections of arenas went unsold. Sponsors got nervous. Fans even threatened boycotts. Stephen A. turned the pressure dial all the way up. He didn't just go at Reese, he scorched the entire system. He ripped into Commissioner Kathy Engelbert for downplaying Clark's importance. He mocked the media for pretending this growth was a team effort. And he lit into players acting like Caitlin's spotlight somehow steals their shine.
Earlier today that I want to show you right now. Put the tweet up, please, so our audience can see it here. At 4th Gen Bucci, B-U-C-C-I. Right, Stephen A. Smith. Can the WNBA keep itself afloat while CC, as in Caitlin Clark, is out? End quote. My answer would be yes. I'm not going to summarily dismiss the WNBA, its growing popularity. We get that part. But I'm not going to ignore, nor am I going to take my eyes off of what transpires with the WNBA over the next 2 weeks while Caitlin Clark is out with the quad strain. And the reason why is because, let me tell you something right now. I'm not going to go to word hate. I'm not going to be out there like RG3 was saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark or other players hate Caitlin Clark. But I will say this. I don't think it's specific.
He shouted, "She is special. She made this league must-see TV. And instead of protecting her, you let her get hacked, slammed, assaulted every night with no consequences." This wasn't just jealousy anymore. This was negligence. According to Stephen A., the league stood by while its biggest star was targeted, fouled, and ultimately injured.
I don't care about her leading the league in assists. I don't care about the points that she's averaging, because I already know that the young lady can ball. She is special.
Now, with Clark sidelined, the same players who resented her are watching the league sink without her. He said it plain, the WNBA had lightning in a bottle, and they acted like it was just another rain cloud.
And so now that we know all of this, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see.
Meanwhile, Angel Reese poured gasoline on the fire. Instead of pulling back, she kept her name in the headlines with more petty shots and subtle digs, making Caitlin's absence even louder.
What exactly is it that the league will do knowing that she's out for the next 2 weeks? I'm not saying I know for sure what's going to happen, but I have an idea.
Stephen A. exposed the double standard. When a young white girl dominates, people say she's overhyped. When others fail to draw the same crowd, they blame the media. Stop fighting it. Caitlin is the show. Get on board or get left behind.
If for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated. And if that happens, then you know what, you ride that wave. Rising tide lifts all boats. And if this is the magnetic traction that draws viewers to the WNBA, and her absence over the next 2 weeks due to that quad strain is providing further evidence of that, then everybody needs to accept it, stand down, and ride that wave. I'm going to be really interested in seeing how the ratings are going to look without her over the next 2 weeks. Let's make sure we come back and ask me this exact same question after she's been gone for those 2 weeks.
And here's where it got brutal. This isn't just about respect. It's about survival. Reese may have fans, but Clark has become the economy. The ticket sales, the merch, the TV deals. She's not just a player, she's the platform. Without her, the league's flaws are exposed. Empty arenas, lost momentum, primetime games collapsing. Fans don't show up for the WNBA. They show up for Caitlin Clark. And that's why Stephen A. snapped. He's been warning them for months. He saw this coming. And now, they are all watching the floor collapse. This was never just about one foul, one tweet, or one interview. This is about how the WNBA handles power. Caitlin Clark became the biggest name in women's basketball, and instead of protecting her, the league made her a target. Angel Reese's constant digs only proved Stephen A.'s point that too many players chose ego over evolution. Too many fought the spotlight instead of riding it. Now the fans see it. The sponsors see it. The networks see it. And Stephen A. is the only one screaming the truth. Caitlin Clark was never the problem. She was the solution. Every snub, every cheap shot, every dismissive comment only proves it further. Without her, the WNBA is not ready for prime time. And the most ironic part? Stephen A. wasn't just ranting. He was pleading. Pleading with the league to protect its star, to grow up, to realize what it has. Because this isn't just about one season. This is about the future of women's basketball. Right now Clark is out. The numbers are tanking. The receipts are stacked. And Stephen A. is watching it unfold exactly the way he predicted. The only question left is, will the WNBA wake up before it's too late? Or will Caitlin Clark walk away, realizing she was never truly appreciated? Because one thing's for sure, Stephen A. Smith won't stop reminding them until they finally get it right.